Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Of course, it has been a while again. I am quite busy, as if you haven't noticed. There's a lot of stuff going on in this country today, and it's pretty damn sad. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that's going to piss people off, no doubt. Yeah, people are going to be really pissed off at me about what I'm going to say today. But I'll do my best not to say anything that is not true or that I have not personally experienced myself. So today I'm going to talk about why cops are not good. All cops are bad cops. Wait, before you skip, go to some other video. I'm telling you, all cops are bad. There are no good cops. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, from experience, years ago, while I was in transition between military and I was kind of in the reserves and whatnot, I decided that I wanted to try my hand at possibly doing law enforcement. Now, I'm a fairly smart guy, so yeah, hey, taking a test, easy peasy, right? Went to the Oakland Sheriff's Department to take their test, and I did all the things they wanted me to do and was required to do, and passed everything. And at one point, there's a test that they give you, and it asks you a bunch of questions, and one of those questions is a scenario question. And in this scenario, they ask you, they say, okay, look, you and your partner or your training officer or whatever, you're in a grocery store or a regular convenience store or something, and you're picking up things that you're going to buy before you go back out on patrol, and your partner grabs something, an apple, piece of fruit, something, soda, whatever, and doesn't pay for it and walks out of the door. What do you do? And here's the answers, if I remember correctly, that I was given. You can stop your partner, trained officer, friend, whoever, and tell them, hey, go back inside, pay for that. You could pay for it for them when you pay for your stuff, or you could pretend like you saw nothing, even though the clerk has seen them, the people in there have seen them, you've seen them, and just pay for your stuff and then leave. Guess what the right answer was? Well, there's two right answers that they suggested I should have said, and the two right answers was, say nothing, I didn't see nothing, pay for my stuff and leave. And the other one was just pay for both of our items and then walk out. Well, those were the two morally wrong answers. I chose the earliest answer. The first answer was, hey, get back in there and pay for your stuff, because that's morally the right thing to do, right? I mean, it's still a crime to steal, right? Because cops come along and they throw you in jail for stealing because it's called shoplifting, right? Well, needless to say, I did not become a sheriff because of that reason, because I was honest, because, serve, protect, I was honest and I answered the question honestly. So I was not hired, and I trust me, I didn't feel bad about it at all. And that leads me to believe, well, not believe, it just goes to show that they train the cops. They tell them that you are above the law, you can do whatever you want to do, and there's no consequence. That's what that scenario question was all about, is to train the cops and to find out who it is that they're going to hire, who is malleable and will do whatever it is that they're told to do, without question. They're training these people to be robots, to do whatever it is they're told. I'm not making it up. You ask anyone who's taking a test to get on any police or law enforcement organization, and ask them if that same question isn't still on there, or a variation of that question, because it is, because I've seen it recently. So I know it's still there. A question just like that is still on that test or those tests. So they're training them to be bad people, to tell them that, hey, you're above the law. You are the law. when their job is to enforce the law instead of being above it. And if this situation that we're in now doesn't reaffirm what I'm saying, then just think about it. Just think of yourself as your police officer, your new veteran, doesn't matter, and you're called out to some place, and you get there, and there's a gentleman who someone has accused or didn't accuse, or whatever the case may be, of doing something. Let's say a counterfeit $20 bill that no one's seen so far. And you get there and you handcuff a person, you effect an arrest, and you place them in a truck, and then your partners and you start beating on the guy for whatever reason, because I'm pretty sure beating on someone has nothing to do with law enforcement, but that's how they train the cops. They train them to beat you. That's not a joke. They train them to beat you and how to beat you. And then you and your partners snatch, or your fellow officers snatch the person out of the vehicle, and you lay them on the ground after they've been handcuffed. And you are now to stand guard and watch as your fellow officer murders someone by kneeling on their neck for almost 9 minutes. Now you see this person is dying, you see what this other officer is doing is wrong, but you say nothing and you do nothing except protect that officer at any and all costs. Because if you don't, you lose your job, all kinds of bad things can happen to you, but morally you've made a decision to protect that officer versus protecting the human rights of the person who's being killed. Does that make you a bad cop? Yes, it does. Even if your job is telling you to do something wrong and you're going to lose your job by doing the right thing, and you don't do the right thing, you're a bad cop. Now, to drive this home, ask any cop that you know if they will tell on any other cop, and then remind them of the blue code of silence, blue wall of silence, whatever the hell they're calling it now. Ask them about that. They may lie to you and says, oh yes, I would tell the truth. No, they're a damn lie. They know they won't tell the truth, because they know that if they tell the truth, if they actually do what it is they will lie to you and say that they'll do, they know that they'll lose their job and they won't be able to have a badge and a gun and go beat the piss out of people for shits and giggles. They will not tell the truth on this. Now, you can get angry. You can say that I'm vilifying everyone, that I'm lumping people in, and I'm generalizing. Yes, I am, because it's the truth. I've taken their tests more than once for different organizations, and they're all the same. They teach you to brutalize people. They don't teach you to community police. They don't teach you to go out and live in the community that you police. They don't teach you in any aspect ever. When I took any of their tests, did it ever say to treat everyone with respect, dignity, understand what civil and human rights are, and respect them? That is nowhere on any of their tests or anything. When you can basically be a high school dropout, which is nothing wrong with dropping out of high school, but have mediocre literacy, and you can be a cop, or you can actually be in a white supremacist or any hate group, and they know it and still let you be a cop. Cops are bad for a reason. They only want the cops that are bad. Good cops don't become cops. That's why I didn't become a cop, because I'm a good person. I would have been a good cop, and I would have most likely ended up dead, or most definitely fired, and I would have been immediately released, because I would have done the right things. So that is why I tell you that all cops are bad. Every single one of them is a bad cop. As long as they have that badge and that gun, and someone is telling them they can brutalize you and do whatever they want to do to you, all cops are bad. All of them are. There's no such thing as a good cop. If he's out there or she is out there on patrol with a badge and a gun, rolling around, they're a bad cop. They just are. Good cops are probably somewhere being meter maids. or sitting in a damn supply room, or in a, I don't know, evidence lockup. Those may be good cops, but I doubt it, because they've probably done something to get there. But the bad cops, the ones out in the, patrolling with the guns and the badges, those are all bad cops. Every single one of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I understand this probably didn't make a lot of people happy, but it is actually a true thing. If you disagree, by all means, please feel free. Leave a comment down below. I will not shy away from any comment. Please do your best to try to be nice, but I really don't give a shit if you're nice or not. I just rather have the truth. But if you have something to say, please by all means in the comments down below, say something. And I will do my best to answer every single question that you have to the best of my ability, and we can debate about whether or not what I've said is right or wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening. Please be safe out there. Stay away from the cops if you possibly can. If you're going to protest, please protest peacefully. No looting, no hurting anybody, because that's not what we're about. That's not what this is about. Anybody that's looting and hurting other people, those are not protesters. Those are the bad people, who are just like the cops, who are the bad people. The other thing is, please remember social distancing. I don't want anyone getting sick or getting anyone else sick. Have a great evening. Have a fabulous weekend. And please don't forget, make sure that you are being the best heathens that you can possibly be. And good night. But wait, there's more. Now, a lot of you those of you who stayed to the end of this video, and those of you who are steaming mad and pissed off and left before the end of the video, this has all been a trick, if you will. I'm going to say it's a trick. So no, all cops are not bad. There are bad people. There are people who get poor training from people who train them. They're supervisors, their bosses, whatnot, who over the years have done horrible things and continue to propagate the horrible things that they've learned and push those things on to officers. Now, not all cops are bad, but the things that cops do are bad. The training that they get is horrible. The lack of training that they get is just as bad. And the people who teach them and train them to be officers are apparently mostly horrible people, because they have antiquated ideas of how to police. Police's job, the police person's job, woman, man, whatever, their job is to enforce the laws per the Constitution of the United States. But they seem to have forgotten that that's what their jobs are, to serve and protect the public. They are public servants. There's nothing worse than having someone beat your ass and you're paying them to do it. That is pretty much what this video was about. Generalizing a subset group of people by stating that they're all bad. Well, I don't know every cop. I know some, I know a lot, I know a few, but I don't know every cop. So I can't say that all cops are bad. No, but when people generalize and say that all people who are exerting their First Amendment right are bad because there are a few people who may be looting and rioting, see, that's generalizing the people who are there to protest peacefully, because we have the right per the Constitution to assemble and protest for redress. It's what the Constitution was founded on. That's why we have a Constitution. So to say that people who are standing up and asserting their First Amendment right, they're not all bad. You do have some bad people, but not all of them are bad. So for those of you who stayed, thank you very much. I appreciate you. For those of you who got pissed off in the first 5 seconds or whatever and got really mad and you left, well, you missed out, because now you understand where I'm coming from about generalizations. You don't generalize everyone. Not everyone is the same. Not all people are bad. There are some people who do bad things, but not everyone is bad. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for staying. For those of you who had the courage and the wherewithal to stay, those of you who did not stay, it's too bad. I'm sorry for you. You could have learned something this portion of the video. Have a great weekend. Once again, I will say this to you. I know I've said it before. Please be safe. Please take care of yourself and your loved ones. If you're out there and you're protesting, make sure that you learn some things from, I'll give you some advice. Make body armor for yourself. Learn how to make shields for yourself to protect yourselves from the cops who want to shoot you in the face with rubber bullets and blind you and injure your bodies and shoot tear gas canisters in your face and whatnot and try to basically kill you. Protect yourselves and please be safe. Have a great weekend, and once again, by all means, please be the best heathens that you can possibly be, and have a great weekend.